supposed to go to the gym and work out, but I got a meeting to go to, so I said, let me do this real quick.
Right. How's everything going, man? I know that you had. How was the event with Truck over there? What is it? The DX, the company, that the platform you guys were fighting on.
On overtime, it was pretty. Their introductory for their shows. I think they did 40 shows in a couple of weeks. I mean, weeks back. And that was the last show that Lorenzo was on. Presentation was real up to par. Everything was in house. You know what I'm saying? It worked for them. I think it was a great strategy of actually doing what they're doing and whatnot.
Right. It was also in Atlanta. Sold out crowd. Had like so many like NBA, like the preparation looked real good. Even the presentation of it was really nice.
Man, it was like I said again, for their first shows, they did everything right. It was easy. It was easy. It was something new because they had the overtime rounds. I didn't see a lot of the fights enter into there, but they had some overtime rounds when they thought the fights was close and whatnot. So that shows boxing really changing because you've been seeing boxing. They've been doing 3-minute rounds, get out, get back in. We've been seeing all types of stuff that's been happening with boxing and whatnot. So they've been trying a way of trying to make it exciting. But the only way you can make boxing exciting is putting on exciting fights.
Exactly. 100%. Speaking upon that fight, very close fight with Hernandez and Truck.
It was a fight. It was a good fight. Us having a long layoff. I would say, yeah, long layoff, put in the box. I think Truck did real good for that type of step up. The guy did his job. Uh, you know, Truck had a slight injury with his foot because he started off moving, he couldn't move, and then we had to do what we had to do. The guy, he weathered the storm. Um, Truck was trying to close the gap. Get what I'm saying? Came up short. I just thought one of the scorecards was too large. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of shots that the guy was throwing, he was missing and whatnot. But it was a great fight. I just look at Truck having lost a fight since he was 15 years old. He's about 21, I think, now. You know what I'm saying? So that says a lot. Get him back in the gym, see what his thoughts at, and just go back at it. That weight class is a different type of beast. I see that weight class world championship belts change. Just change hands like Joker changing tennis. So it is gonna make him figure out what he got to do. You know what I'm saying, to get to that next level. You know what I'm saying? Normally that weight class guys don't get on that level until you like 20 and 20, 25 fights, you know what I'm saying, before you get a shot at something big. But we have a blueprint. We know how to get there. You know what I'm saying? That's all we had to do was just get him back in the winner's circle, see where his mental at, and just keep it moving.
Yeah, man. It was definitely an impressive show. And then, like you said, just the whole overtime aspect of it. I was like, are we gonna see one? Because the cards were very close. So I was just like wondering. I talked to Coach Kenny. I was like, when do you guys know when it's an overtime or when you guys could take off the mitts? But I guess you guys have guys right there to
Yeah, they
just
like they told us not to take it off. Or what happened was one of them came to me and say, "No, that's not an overtime round." So then we take the gloves off and whatnot. But it was a nice presentation. Um, one of the guys, they said, "This is dog. We bringing y'all back." I haven't talked to anyone. I haven't talked to Truck because I haven't. It was a great show. It was some great fights on there. Um, it's an avenue to really start something with them that can make some young up and coming fighters like the next generation started. You know what I'm saying? Happen on that lower level. You know what I'm saying? You got the next generation, but then you got that overtime that can really build something and take a turn. You know what I'm saying? Um, the people that I'm talking to, they like the ideas and whatnot, and say, "Man, you really know boxing." You get what I'm saying? It's not the thing I'm no boxing. It's just a lot of young fighters don't get the opportunities of developing. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a good platform to develop fighters and get their fan base up at the end of the day. Because when they seen our crowd, and that wasn't even our whole crowd, because it was some plans that I was. If I wouldn't have had our show and the vacation that I had set, I would have did it much bigger than what it was for us as fan base and whatnot. So I didn't have time to prepare for it. But you know, um, they post Mayor Ellis there, you understand? On that epic knockout she had in Baltimore. So it's a bright future for the GTD um, fighters that's coming up.
Yeah, you're definitely making noise in your own way, with the hometown fights. This one that just came up, you guys have Tank that's basically the leader, or I kind of say you're the leader, and then he's like the chief commander.
He's the chief in command. You know what I'm saying? Um, he never amazed me. He see what I'm trying to do. He always said in his interviews that he's not the only one. It's just to get that one. My stable and my crop is unreal, man. I mean, it's unreal. We got another couple of moves we about to make. Just trying to figure out what's the focus for Tank. A lot of things. It's boiling, stirring up in the pot. You know what I'm saying? For the end of the year, for next year. You seeing how boxing is going right now. Certain fights that they they talk about making that's not made. You know what I'm saying? I already knew that wasn't gonna happen. Again, the guys gotta get their numbers up. That's what I always say. I remember I told Paul Williams when he was fighting Marguerite, I said, yo, you ain't gotta have all the money if you believe. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Just get the fight. But these guys, I call them microwave babies. They want all the they want all the they want all the money. You know what I'm saying? Before they even prepare the meal. You know what I'm saying? So again, they'll learn.
That fight that you're speaking upon, is that the Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin fight?
That's the fight I'm speaking about. Yo, Mr. B. Yeah, they talk about making it. And I'm sitting up there looking at that fight. And I said, this was Shakur and them team, great team. They know what they got to do to get his numbers up to make him like that guy. And I always said in the amateur career, if you wasn't that guy when you was an amateur, what makes you think you're going to be that guy now? You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? You become that guy because it's just in your DNA. You get what I'm saying? When you look at Roy Jones, Floyd, them guys coming up in the amateurs, they was them guys. You get what I'm saying? And it just transformed over. So I'm looking at this crop that we putting together. We did this show here in Baltimore, the GTD Challenge. That's off. We're making a move and moving it out of the city somewhere else there. So we got a lot of stuff planned. It's just based on what Mr. Gervonta Davis got planned. What's his next move? So when he got to move, I got to shut everything down and focus. You know what I'm saying? I was just sitting here saying, Dad, what kind of motivation I got? This is based on what opponent that's sitting in front of me. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
It's funny that you mentioned that too, because when I talked to Frank on the phone, he told me that it was a situation with money that had to do with the fight. And then when you really start diving in as a media analyst, you start to see it's like, if I'm gonna take a big risk, would I should I just pull off a Rolly and Ryan and go for the best top dog, or should I just go and capture the WBC belt and fight Shakur Stevenson? So I was always thinking it was like, the money that they're offering him was basically nothing over $1 million. And when you fight Tank, you know, you get that bingo money. You know what I'm saying? So
That's that. When we was little, I fight Mike Tyson.
right, right,
That's
right.
that type of money. I remember when I was little, I said, "That say shit, man. Put me in the ring with Mike Tyson. I can give him one round."
From outside the ring, we're all saying that, right?
Yeah. Then you get hit because you want to be able to survive. with that percent rate.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Um, speaking upon that, so as soon as you heard the news on that fight, you kind of basically said, "I gotta really see the finishing touches. I need to hear that contracts are signed for me to even believe this." Is
I
that?
always say that when you see them sitting at a press conference and they sitting and they do that face off, that's the real signing of the contract. Let's keep it real. And then sometimes you got to watch that because I remember that situation. Brody and Tank went through their then Brody had the situation and that fell out. So you
Yep.
really got to really look at it, and just keep stay like this and just hope you can make it all the way to the first part of the finish line. You know what I'm saying? And that's the scale. So when you make it to that point, you damn near in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I just wait, be patient, try to strategize what's the next camp gonna look like, based on what opponent we fighting, what sparring partners we're gonna have, how we're gonna start camp off, what's going on with the individual. So that's what I kind of focus on, to tell you the truth. Just um I try not to strip it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's combat sport. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, you train, you go through that. When I was on a panel with all these great coaches,
Well, I was there. I watched it.
yeah, Robert said something about, when you've been doing it for so long and the body go through its changes, go through that, and you've been on that level for so long. And I said, Dad, that makes sense. So what I try to do is, you never know what's going to happen at any given time. That's what you prepare for.
Mm.
So you don't strip it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't strip it. You put it together. You make it do what it do for that moment.
the famous scenario. So I'm glad that I got you on here too because yesterday I seen an Instagram live with Pitbull Cruz. They were doing an interview with him, and wow, the kid got a lot of fan base ahead of him. You 100% right. I mean, over 1,500 people on the live. I've seen all these guys being on Instagram live, and you see their numbers, and this guy got a whole population of Mexican fan base that really dig him, and the whole interview's in Spanish, so that's just to let everybody know that.
No, that's good. That's what he's. That I mean, to tell you the truth, if you look at the platform of Triple G, the platform of Canelo, they pose a cater to their culture. And he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, and that's good. You know what I'm saying? That's good. I commend him. I salute him. You know what I'm saying? And like I said again, we made him a star.
Yes, yes. I
So
mean, they only have a few. They only have like two. I think it's William Cepeda and then him as far as lightweights that are at that high level.
yeah,
So, obviously the lightweight division is very, very, very slammed, and the Mexicans want in on it, and that these are their guys. And
yeah.
when they were interviewing Pitbull, talking about why did you duck Shakur, and he's saying, Shakur's just saying all this extra stuff. People don't understand the business of boxing. If I'm gonna come here for uh, a belt with that's made up of gold, or am I gonna go and get paid and feed my family? And if I have an opportunity to do a rematch with Tank Davis, I don't believe that that's ducking at all. But if the fight doesn't go through, definitely Shakur Stevenson will be next. So just to clear that up of like, what the fighters want, what the fighters are saying, and this is the fight that people are talking about. And it it's gonna sell. Just like you said, they have their pull of numbers, we have ours. Put them together, we all buy.
And when you look at numbers again, I mean that 135 was deep. Joe was getting out of that weight class. There's only a few left in that weight class, and the few left uh is Shakur and Pitbull. You know, and
Yep.
what's his name still gotta get his numbers up. He's been like hiding in the gap, just wait. You know what I'm saying? Subpoena. He got to make some noise. Is he too quiet? You get what I'm saying?
He's quiet. He doesn't speak English, and he hasn't really had any. He hasn't got any notable names yet.
Right. So again, you can't put him there. You understand what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
Pitbull, like you just sit there and say he was on an interview. You see how many people was on his live.
Yeah.
That's where you really look at it.
No, that's their Mexican lightweight star for sure.
Yeah. So when you really look at it, it has to make sense because when you putting together a show and
Mhm.
the amount of money is being spent into a show, that's the promoter's first fight. You know what I'm saying? Watching the budget. And then you got this kid as this, you got this kid as that. And then you sit there and look at their numbers when they sit at the table, but yo, you didn't do this. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, when you look at the business, Pitt is good. You know what I'm saying? He's good because he have a fan base. You know what I'm saying? And again, a lot of Shakur on the right track of trying to make certain fights to get his numbers up. You know what I'm saying? So he is focusing on his team, and I'm focusing on that of actually getting in the ring. But again, they asking for outrageous money to actually make them fights that they want to make the fights to actually get their names up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's what the problem is. So again, I get it that they're trying to make a move to actually, get on and do their thing.
And when you talk about like promotions and stuff like that, that's Manny Pacquiao Promotions right there with Pitbull Cruz. He does a great job promoting with the area that he targets the most, the people that they target. So when you put them together, just like any other promotion, you
So
just got more people wanting to see,
yeah, it
just
makes
different
sense.
views.
Yeah, it makes sense.
100%. Now, you speaking upon all these guys that, it was funny, Tank was the main discussion, right? Everybody had to have his name in his mouth, their mouth, no matter what it was. Now you get to I remember I did an interview, you're like, I just like to sit back and let it fall and let it all fall in place. And now you must be licking your chops and having fun with this internet stuff now too, because you're seeing everybody back and forth doing Twitter wars. You ducking you, and finally, I got my man Tank just chilling,
I,
laying
but
back.
see that look, and that's what we've been working for. I wanted to be in the part to actually see this the business side of Tank now. Yeah, you're with me. Just the business side of Tank. When you can sit down and say, what makes sense? What's going to play good? What's the money grab? You get what I'm saying? What people don't even know. I can come back to Baltimore with Tank and do unreal numbers.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because we haven't been here. We've been hitting areas. And we had three more areas that's untapped. Nobody went into. You get what I'm saying? That I know that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't dropped that seed on them yet. You know what I'm saying?
I think you
You know,
dropped it before. I think you
I
dropped it.
dropped it. Yes, I did. You
I
a good
can't.
observation. Good. I
I
did
can't.
drop it.
I can't wait though. I can't wait.
Yeah, so again, they don't understand what we do. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand what we do. And I like I always say you have to be a customer care and you have to pay attention to your customers. You have to pay attention to what people that's catering to, so it's gonna come together. So this is a exciting moment for our team, exciting moment for boxing. We have been having some great fights this year, so I can't wait till this upcoming fight. It's great happening, man, with Canelo and Charlo, man. Watching their all access, man, it was unreal. Like, okay, it's gonna be a goodie. The old with the new, you know what I'm saying? And both of them undisputed, and that's what I'm talking about, man. You got the undisputed now. You know how usually Jokers was just fight just to be fighting. Now you got undisputed fighting against undisputed. You know what I'm saying? In different weight class. And
Never
that's the
been
move.
done.
Yeah, that's the move. You know what I'm saying? That's the move. Fights, like I'm gonna go up there and try to beat the man. Canelo did it when he tried to fight the Bull. You know what I'm saying? Go at his strap. You know what I'm saying? Taking chances.
Yeah, moving up the weight classes, but never. This is the first time in history of
Yeah,
undisputed versus undisputed, which is
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so that's why I said they say boxing, man. It's going to heights that's unreal, So I want to salute the heads to be in charge, man, to actually putting this together, man, because you can't write this. You can't write this.
You can't. You can't. So speaking upon that matchup, what's your first initial thoughts when you heard the fight was made?
Say it again.
What were your first initial thoughts when you found out the fight was made and it wasn't the big Charlo, it was the small Charlo, moving up 2 weight?
Um, I was saying, okay, Canelo making moves now. Everybody said Canelo was ducking everybody. He's getting on the tail, and he's doing what the head man does. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna shut the fans up and just go in and make these fights happen. You know what I'm saying? So after this fight, he ain't done.
Nope.
This fight is based on what other moves Canelo gonna make.
Right. Um, you know, he's been judged as far as like, yo, you haven't really fought anybody. There's times that, Tank gets that too. You know, do you believe that they're kind of like in the similar path of looking at their careers, getting the toughest challenges towards the end of their career?
Man, they said that about every fighter that nobody, but if you look at every fighter platform, everybody doing the same road to success. So I
Hmm.
always try to hear that. In the words of Roger Mayweather, they don't know shit about boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And they don't understand the business of boxing. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. They're gonna say what they gotta say. Right now, we're in the best time of boxing right now. Better just love it. Because I remember they were saying MMA taking over, boxing falling off, woo woo woo. Man, we've been on the edge of our seats. People been sitting in front of the TV. You know what I'm saying? And this day and time, different type of streaming platforms, you know what I'm saying? They get numbers.
100%. It's funny. We're so strict as boxing fans, right? That when we don't get what we want, like I was looking at some comments upon the Shakur and Frank, oh, boxing is failing us. What are you talking about? We've had over 10 fights that were way better than that fight, and that
Way
doesn't even
better.
come close to those fights.
Them two need them fights, or Shakur need that fight. Martin in a good place. You know what I'm saying? He's still growing. He still got a what you call it. You know what I'm saying? And his team is what you call it. Don't want to risk everything on certain guys. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. In his position, he's in the right setting platform where he can get to other guys and still build his name and still get some good piece of money and still, go through his development. But like I said, when we send you that document, you better take it or leave it, or you might not get a chance at it again. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's how it is. Um, every guy that we went in the ring with and did work with, right, their career did good. You feel me? Their
Hmm.
career did good. So again, it is what it is. Um, my job is get that mental right, see how we going in, because when I sit there and look at Trump loss, it didn't make us, it wasn't a setback. You know what I'm saying? It let me see what's really out there. You know what I'm saying? As far as a trainer, a coach, a person that's trying to get his fighters ready for the next one. And the difference between me and other coaches, I can experiment more than most coaches. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always on the road with fighters. You know what I'm saying? So, and they said when coach gets back, yo, he be on another level because I go get away, get my thoughts right, come back and say, yo, this is we got to work on that to make our fighters much better and to improve. And basically, it's based on the fighters. You know what I'm saying? Shane Mosley said it clearly. It's not the trainers, it's not the coaches, the fighters, the stuff that they do behind the scenes when nobody ain't watching them. So that's what it's really about.
100%, 100%. Shout out to the chat. 101 people on the live. Lots and lots of great comments, Coach. I gotta say, just gearing up more, lots of God bless yous and
Thank
salutes, and just it's nice to see the chat so positive this morning.
you. Yeah,
But
I appreciate it. Just keep me in your prayers, y'all, because I need it.
also, shout out to Tim Layton with the super chat. God bless you, Coach Calvin, for all that you do in the world. We need more men like you.
Well, I think I'm on this platform, and how we got there is to get on that platform to really tell the true message of us as African American, as people with the struggle, starting from the bottom, starting from the mud, trying to, just make a way. To tell you the truth, just trying to make a way and give a group of people some hope, because we don't see too much of that anymore. And
Hmm.
right now, the Lord gave me this platform to actually do it, and I don't know what He had in store for me. You know what I'm saying? But I know it's going to be epic before I leave this world.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, you know, gearing up to that interview that you had with the coaches on Showtime, great interview. I love to see my team in there, and you was asked, about your pound for pound list. You had Terrence Crawford at number one. Lots of people in the world did too. Um, then you were asked, the winner of this fight, where do they land on your pound for pound list? I believe you said number two.
I did say number two because Charlo wasn't on a pound for pound list, but if he upset Canelo, you know what I'm saying? He got to give his props. I can't
Okay.
drop um,
Crawford.
Crawford down because the fashion how he won that fight, because people still talking about it. People still like, yo, what in the hell happened? You know what I'm saying? Because to tell you the truth, that fight was supposed to have been that roller coaster ride for all fans that's in boxing. That was supposed to be that fight. Like, yo, you seen that? And the fashion that fight fought, Crawford just made it look like, God dang. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I wouldn't move him from number one, because that fight was being asked for so long. Now, if you was talking about the Canelo and the big Charlo, get what I'm saying? Then Canelo would stay at that number one spot, because then everybody was asking for that fight long time ago. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Long time ago, long time ago. So um, if Charlo upsets Canelo, he would be number two, because, like I said, you got two undisputed fighters going against each other, two different weight classes. So that's epic for boxing. That's that's pushing the envelope for boxing. That's showing that boxing can take it to another level.
Absolutely. In that fight, September 30th, do you have a pick?
No, I'm going with the knockout. Somebody going to sleep.
Somebody going to sleep.
You hear what I say? Somebody is going to sleep. And that fight was set a statement for both fighters.
Mm.
If it go to distance, if it go to distance, everybody gonna be at the edge of their seats. Like, you know how you get a chill, like you cold. So I just don't think them guys wanted to go to the card.
Mm. Do you see something in this training camp gearing up for this fight that you see Canelo wanting a little bit more when it comes down to his last fight with John
Yeah,
Ryder?
he changed his camp. He
Yeah.
changed something that he used to do. So when a fighter changed something that he used to do, he's really saying this is a serious fight.
Mm.
And he haven't done that. That must be his new motivation. And he's been quiet about his camp. He's just been doing what he's doing. Been quiet about certain things. He ain't been putting everything out there. So again, it's gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one, because when I sit back and look at the pool of fighters that Canelo fought, this is a different type of athlete that he's going in front of.
Correct. More of an athlete, a guy that can punch as well, a guy that's just as big. It seems
And
to
and he got an attitude on his chest.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between all the other guys that he went through.
Speaking of the attitude, there's a lot of respect with Jamel and Canelo in this fight. Not like former fights that we've seen with Jamel. Jamel's very talkative. Jamel's let you know,
No, he
hey,
know know what he going in front of. He know he going in front of another. He going in front of another killer.
mm,
You get what I'm saying? I make this statement to everyone, and I use the analogy because where my upbringing. I say when you put two killers in a cell and both of them know they killers, they're gonna learn how to respect each other, so both of them could survive being in that cell.
mm.
You
No
can't get
different. No different. No different in this fight.
no different. So again, you know, it's the fight. You have to promote the fight. If a person say something wrong to inch the fight on, Canelo, he don't really speak straight English when he's doing his interviews. You know what
Right.
I mean? Unless he say something or somebody say something, slide to him on the side, then he'll say something, in English, like, like, man, what you talking about? Woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? But Charlo, he always been like that. He gonna voice his opinion regardless. You know what I'm saying? And then I think he know this is a big fight. He's staying real with the cards focusing on it. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can say certain things to motivate a fight. You know what I'm saying? To get the fighter up for the fight, to know that he's into a serious situation. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So again, it's based on skills and will right here. This fight.
100%. 100%. Because they both pack a mean punch.
Yeah.
Um. In the same time, who do you believe has the more experience in this fight, and will that take a toll in the later rounds?
Like I said, both of them have been on different platforms. Canelo crowd's been bigger than Charlo, but again, Charlo is in a good position. He's going at the top dub. You know what I'm saying? And when you're going at the top dub, when you're going at the top dub, you have nothing to prove to anybody else because that's the top dub. If you're just trying to be the top dub. Um, in Canelo's situation, he knows that this is a fight. You know what I'm saying? So it makes the platform even. Like, yo, it's back to one on one. You know what I'm saying? It's back to a one on one. I was talking to a friend yesterday. He said, yo, Pitbull, yo, that's a tough fight. I said, see how it got you cringed up? It got you like you got to chill. You know what I'm saying? That's what I strive for. If it ain't tough, it ain't right.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it lets you know where your fighter really at. And I know things that the public don't know of the fight when Tank fought Pitbull. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, his hand was hurting. Woo, woo, woo. Um, uh, like when I watch Gamboa fight, Tank said, yo, why you like that fight so much? I said, I know things that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I looked at your performance. You know what I'm saying? And for you to perform like that at that level says a lot about you. You know what I'm saying? So again, challenges that I know when you put in front of Tank, you know what I'm saying? It motivates him. You know what I'm saying? It gives them that like say a steak and your mouth is watery for something. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta do what you gotta do. So when you look at the platform for Charlo and Canelo, this fight, man, the fight is real. You know what I'm saying? And whoever come out victorious in this fight, man, their career is going to another level.
Right.
They both careers is going to another level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it means a lot. This September 30th means a lot. Now, when it comes to you, you know about big fights, right? So when we talk about, Terrence Crawford wanting the winner of Jamel Charlo and Canelo Alvarez, what does that ring a bell to you or anything? Like, talk
Like
to me.
I just explained it to you. That's that state that make your mouth watery. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna make 2024, man, that run. Because Joker's gonna be saying, yo, them big fights, man, that's what it's all about. Because then you can demand what you want. You can talk about what you want. Because then you jumping out there to make them big gigantic fights. And them two guys in their situation, that's why this fight is happening. You know what I'm saying? They can see the forecast of that fight going great.
100%. 100%. Him going 3 weight classes to fight, the winner of Jamel Charlo and Canelo Alvarez. Is that a far stretch? That's something that, not a lot of people have done.
Again, look what's happening now. We
Mm.
got two undisputed fighters going against each other, right?
Yep.
Never been done. Now, if that happens, that's just like when they talk about no way, the what you call it, a tank.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Shuck, if New Way can figure out how to get a middle ground, and he's that type of guy, he'll say, "Shit, Tank, let's do it." You feel what I'm saying? So again, when it comes to the fighters, anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? You hear what I say? When it comes to the fighters, and the fighters feel as though they can make it happen, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's going to happen because it's based on the fighters first and foremost. But here's the B that's got to put all the icing on the cake and make it look good. Have to make sure the numbers are there.
100%. Everybody feels like their favorite fighter versus Tank is the biggest fight ever, but in reality, like what we just mentioned here, these 2 fights that we just mentioned, Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford, and Gervonta Davis and Inoue, they do seem like the biggest fights you can make in boxing today.
Yeah, today, because you ain't got nobody else making no big moves, or nobody ain't jumping out there or going after somebody that like, yo, that'll be a good one right there. Where where you're getting two cultures come together to root for that man.
Hmm.
It's like country going against country.
Yeah, going to war. We're really going to war together.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
happens to be one guy takes the beating. That's it.
yeah. I was watching 300,
Yeah, yeah, yep.
and the guy king stood up, said, and he had the crowd, and he said, "It's war." And the crowd went crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
for some reason in our nature, that fighting aspect that people want to see, that you know what I'm saying? So if
Yeah.
you keep putting on that raw stuff, people gonna come out to see it.
Yeah, 100%. It's like very similar to football when it comes to combat. Well, it's not. That's not a combat sport, but it's like a contact sport.
Yeah,
So it gets that feel, but then boxing gives you that feel, and then obviously it's a combat sport, so you
yeah.
look at it differently and stuff like that.
See,
Now,
when I look at football, I look at what running back going against each other that night, what defense going against offense. You know what I'm saying? To draw the crowd in, to draw the crowd in. What quarterback is playing that day against what quarterback? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to throw the most yards? Who's going to get the most? That's what bring the crowd out. You got to have something that when you look at marketing to let like, yo, he great break his rushing yard. Like some guy was ready from Miami was trying to beat Dan Marino's passing yard, you know what I'm saying, for a single game. And he
mhm,
came close. He was throwing that joker, man. And it made me watch the game to see was he gonna pull it off. You with me?
yeah,
Yeah, so
100%.
again, that's what it's really based on when you're doing the unheard of, the unthinkable. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that's what makes the sport what it is.
One time when you was at the park and you was training the kids, I talked to you and you said, Ted can make 130 still. You know,
It could if we really, really, really put the right systems in place, he could. Because if you look at the last three fights that he's been making, he's been under 135.
correct. So a fight with him and Inoue is not necessarily far stretched than what people really think.
It's not. It's not. It's based on again where it would be. That's one of the things. Where it would be and what weight it would be at.
Probably Saudi Arabia.
That's a neutral ground, yo, and the money look good.
Always does.
The money look good.
They really do.
They would definitely pay for that one.
And they want 2 monsters to go at each other. They put down some good cards.
No, man, because shucks, everybody would tune into that because
Everybody.
New Age's been doing his thing at his weight class and for his culture. You know what I'm saying?
Anytime you put two fighters on the pound for pound list and you put them in there together, it's magic, man.
Yeah.
In reality.
It's something to think about. See, that's what makes fantasy. That's what makes fantasy. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Um, when people talk about Tank and him fighting the winner of fighting Terrence Crawford,
That
doing
was
kind of
another
like
one. That was
doing
another
something like
one.
Roberto Durant came from 26, went all the way up to 60. It's not
Yeah.
like it's far fetched.
Uh, hey, like I say, you put the right people around you, anything is possible. Mm.
100%, 100%. Now talking about the rematch, right? Do you believe? Do you want to see a rematch?
I always want to see things that make sense. You know what I'm saying? But I learned something from Al Heyman. You have to do what the fighter want to do. So whatever direction he want to go, my job is to get him prepared. You know what I'm saying? For the battle.
Um, looking at the first performance, do you look at the first performance and you look at like, all right, that was such a far stretch that I can't see any changes being made the second time around, or did you also
There's
see
some things that I don't like. I don't want to disclose as far as the first fight, but what I seen and when I sit back and go watch the fight, um, I know that wasn't done and what it could have been done and how we was supposed to work because when the way we work, I see the end results every time. It's dramatic. You with me?
hmm
And that night, because of certain things that didn't happen before and going into the fight, you already know it was just Tank brilliance, how he actually orchestrate the win. You with me? How he orchestrate the win, and that was an epic win because Pitbull was trying to do. He was doing. He stepped up for the cause. You know what I'm saying? Um, and when I really look at Tank, nobody had seen the best of Tank. Everybody's seen the boxer that Tank always had in him. You know what I'm saying? They finally seen that. You know what I'm saying? And I know that he could have did some more crazy things in that fight if he wanted to, and if we was at the full capacity where he was supposed to be at.
Mm. You know, Shakur Stevenson got Terrence Crawford really ready for the fight. Southpaw for the Errol Spence Southpaw look, sharp kid. Me and my buddies were talking before this talk with Errol Spence wanting to join, you or Roy Jones or whatever the case may be. We're gonna get right into that. But we always said, who can Errol get in his camp to possibly get him ready for a Terrence Crawford fight? And me and my boy said,
Tank,
Tank. You
I
already know.
said that. I said that a long time ago, and Tank always said that. If you go back a whole bunch of interviews back, Tank really want to see how hard Spence hit.
He wanted to spar him, I remember.
He always wanted to spawn. You know what I'm saying? That's not a far fetched idea. You get what I'm saying?
And there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
There is a reason for that. I remember those interviews going back and forth. Tank telling, "Say it, Errol, say it." Gervonta Davis is really a great fighter. He's an amazing fighter. you know, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So
Gervonta
again,
Davis is an amazing fighter.
so again, like I sit there and said, that night of the fight, Earl didn't look like himself. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what went on in their camp, how their camp was. You know what I'm saying? I know all the fights I watched Earl in, he didn't look like the roller coaster that we was going to get that night.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Or just Terrence is just that goddamn good. You get what I'm saying? Because some fighters just make it look easy. You get what I'm saying?
Correct.
And
Correct.
that night, that's what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? So, but I know Terrence. Terrence stays in the gym. So even when he on vacation, he probably be thinking fight. You get what I'm saying? That's just how his mindset is. You know, and he always been like that. I call him the haggler of this era.
Mm.
In my book, I call him the haggler of this era. Blue
That's how you're gonna
collar,
treat the 35 division.
huh?
That's how you feel he's gonna treat the 35 division.
Come on, Terrence Crawford,
Terrence Crawford and Hagler. Is that what you
the
said?
haggler of this era.
Okay.
That's how I look at Terrence Crawford in my book.
Now tell me why. Why you say that? I know that Hagler switches. I know he's smart. He can punch. But what
He
what
don't
what
complain about no fights.
mm,
He don't complain about no fights. He stand his ground. He say what he got to say. He's humble. If you go back and look at Hearn in his interviews, you go look at how he carried it as he fight. He don't. It's just like when Hearn. I mean, Hagler had to fight Sugar Ray Leonard, and he gave Sugar Ray Leonard everything he wanted, and everybody said, "Oh, that was a dumb witch card." He did it again. Terrence did the same thing. You get me? So that's why I say what I say. If you go back and look at how their meanings are, it's about the same.
mm, I like it. I like that. Um, when it comes down to some of these rumors, are any of them true? When it comes down to you helping out,
I'm a phone call away from Dirk. Tank is a phone call away from Spence. We all good friends. Anything is possible if you put the right people around you. So it ain't like it can't happen or when it's going to happen. It's just them sitting down, figuring out the logistics, how it's going to be put together. You know,
and you haven't had a discussion with Derek James yet, though.
no, no. You know, Derek been busy. Derek had the heavyweight fight. He had such and such fight. Derek been Superman busy. You know what I'm saying?
Superman,
So, and then when you come off a loss like that, you got to let a coach regroup.
man.
You know what I'm saying? Because he came off a loss and going right back into a fight. You with
Mhm,
me?
mhm.
So, you know, you gotta let it marinate. You gotta let it figure itself out. You gotta let it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? When it's time to do, it's gonna happen. God say be and it is. We gotta do it, it is.
Mhm. Mhm. Now, with you, obviously, you have a huge stable yourself. You're willing to go out there and be part of the team to make that thing
Oh,
happen.
most definitely. Most definitely. I mean, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? If the call is made and it's an opportunity, and that's what these fights are based on, opportunities. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna say? No. You know what I'm saying? First, I'm gonna discuss it with Gervonta Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? What's the plan? You know what I'm saying? Because again, I am him. We're one and the same. You know what I'm saying? So if he say whatever we're gonna do, that's how we're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we do things. We discuss things, go over things, and plan it out because they have to make sense to the whole team because we got other guys moving too. And what me and Kenny always do, we always move with our whole team. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it can be comfortable, but we all understand the focus is on that guy.
Right, right. Um, gearing up to the rematch, obviously, there was some news last week. Bomac, it got locked up for a firearm up in the UK. Um, kind of a weird situation of how it happened. And then obviously Terrence, that's his head coach gearing up to this. I mean, they're talking about 5 years to October, getting at least a court date hearing. I mean, does that affect your main fighter at all?
It affects a lot of things because again, that's his head coach. And they've been riding together for years. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's up to the fighter what decision he make. And then you don't know how the court system's over there, what type of circumstances that happened, how did it happen? You know what I'm saying? And in the position that Terrence and Bomac are in, they could take care of that to get that resolved. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like he can disappear off the planet. You know what I'm saying? And deal with that situation because I don't think it was a situation where that he had it. You know what I'm saying? That was going to do some harm with it. Because, you know, we were seeing that at all sports that athlete, a person of interest as far as status they in have a firearm and they forget that it's in the bag. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
For that to happen, we had that discussion in the gym. Like, Dad, how can you forget? Well, me, how can you forget you got a tool or that a banger in your possession? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I think like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, like if I needed to make sure I got a banger going with me, and I'm I'm legal because I know Bomac is legal. You know what I'm saying? He had to make the I know it's not. He got a legal firearm. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I know that he's not riding dirty. Not necessarily I'm riding dirty. He's not riding dirty. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Was it a point that he was rushing to get where he was going at? You know what I'm saying? And he just forgot to not go through the proper channels to do what he was supposed to do with it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That could have been the case. But we don't know the whole story. We just going off what the media brings to us. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So we got to wait and see how it all play out. That's all.
Like you, I told you before, I was like, you like the superstar coach. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to get an interview with you. They see you, they want to take a picture with you. Um, you're training the best fighter of the world when it comes down to especially the lightweight division. Um, you know, how do you feel about protecting yourself knowing that you're opening up a new world now to you, to your family, every time you step out that door, going to a different state, different country?
Um, I try not to worry about it because I've been in a serious situation all through my whole life. You know what I'm saying? And do I worry about it? No. Do I think about it? Yes. But I'm real. And anybody that know me, and I tell everybody, I can do these, I can do the knife, and I can do the joint. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what I'm propagating. You know what I'm saying? I try to stay humble when situations occur. You know what I'm saying? I try
You
to
coach it out
resolve
first.
it.
You
I
coach it
try
out
to
first.
resolve it. I try to resolve it because people don't really know me, but people that knows me, you know what I'm saying? I don't play it. You get what I'm saying? I
Mm.
try to stay humble. I try to put the best foot forward first. But if I see as though if you bringing some threat or harm to me, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because first thing, I am that type of person. I better spend the hours leave first. You know what I'm saying? Before I do something that I would regret later on. You with me?
Yep.
So, you know, and that's not just how it is. You know what I'm saying? Because if a person see, I've been in situations in my life. I know how it's current. If you bring in that noise, you're gonna bring it. And I understand when you bring that noise to certain dudes, you know what I'm saying? You got to take 'em. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna get some feedback from it. You with me?
Hmm.
Um, but I'm not that type of guy that somebody will sit there and say, um, to bring that harm to them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not doing anything to know anybody to hurt anybody. I'm not doing so. So I try not to think about that. You know what I'm saying? I feel as though that my Lord put me here for a reason, put me in this situation for a reason, right? To bring light to certain things. You know what I'm saying? So I have to think like that first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody trying to bring some harm to me, I ain't got to deal with it in this world. It'll be dealt with in the other world because I know how many people love me. You feel me saying? I know how many, and I mean in and out.
You're a man of God. You're a man of God first.
You get what I'm saying? So in that process, you get what I'm saying? That person had to be really something really had to be going on for them to sit there and say to bring some harm to me. I really had to be doing something I ain't got no business doing. And I try not to put myself in that situation.
Mm. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like that remark, man, please smash the like button. We got the one and only Calvin Ford. 164 people on the live with great comments to say about you, Coach. Um, Nevertheless, man, we got this Devin Haney and Regis Prograis fight coming up in December.
Mm,
140 division, like you said, another division that's starting to heat up. What do you think about that matchup?
it's a good matchup. I mean, Devin. feel as though like, wait a minute, let me get out the kitchen. There's too much smoke in here, and he's trying to make a moves where he can be comfortable at. I salute his dad. You know what I'm saying? Great move. They pulling it off. It's a big test for Devin. I think Devin have a better boxing still. I mean skills. Regis. Um, he got the pop, yes, and one punch can change the fight. You feel what I'm saying? But can you get that one punch off with Devin? Devin been hit a couple of times. He's been hit a lot against a skillful fighter. You know what I'm saying? But I don't look at Regis as that skillful fighter. But I do know fighters get up for certain fights.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
that's right.
So that fight can go any which way. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That fight can go any which way, but it's based on who prepared the best for that fight. You know, is Devin is Devin going to try to do the same fight that he did with Lomachenko or stay away? You with me? Um, do Regis have the technical ability to get to um, Devin and do what he do with them punch? You know what I'm saying? We gotta wait and see. You know what I'm saying? If he pull it up, if he pull it off, boom. Y'all can have 130. I'm a champion, 140. You know what I'm saying? Then that'll be the fight that he tried to make with Teofimo. That's why I said it's good moves and stuff that they doing. If he loses, what's your next move now? You know what I'm saying? So again, we gotta wait and see.
Right. You guys tested the waters at 140 pounds with Mario Barrios, a guy that right after that went to welterweight, was too big.
Yeah.
Bucky Thurman. Now he got a fight coming up with Ugas.
That's a
Uh,
good fight. That's a good fight. It's a
yeah,
good fight. Is Ugas tender a tender state? Did he get back on? Did he get back? Because him and Pacquiao was at it, and them jokers was beat down. I mean, I thought you know how you take a guy and you take him in the meat room, and you had to make the meat where that knife can slide through it. Did he get back from them injuries? So Uga. I mean, what's his name? He ain't been damaged that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Barrios.
Yeah, Barrios ain't been damaged that bad. Ugas took some hell of a shots to the head, to the eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just seems like Tank's the only one that really broke him down.
Yeah, because Thurman didn't even break him down.
No, he didn't.
So again, I think what's his name is in a good position. You know, Ugas, if he can get this win, he's back on top. Like, okay, I'm good. You know, maybe Ugas did Ugas and Thurman fought yet?
Ugas and Thurman now. Thurman signed his paper once. So Thurman, and I'm gonna get into Thurman too because I just did an interview with Thurman talking about what's going on with him and Boots. What are you gonna do for your career? When's your get back coming up? Um, he signed the deal for Spence and him. He had the WBC mandatory. Spence decided to fight Crawford, bigger fight.
Yeah, makes
Understand
sense. Yeah,
exactly. And then with that, he also Thurman also signed the Ugas contract. Now he's fighting Barrios.
yeah.
So he feels like he's in the rough
He's in
end
the
of the
driver's
stick.
seat, and that's why he didn't fight Boots, and he knew it. You know what I'm saying? And he knew it, and that's why Thurman came back and fought Almagre fight Ugas. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's why I like, man. This thing is like chess, man. When you sit there and study the here's the B to put the fight, that's the real fight for me. You get what I'm saying? How they put the fights together. You get what I'm saying? Or how you look at the line. You know, just like that, he said, the moon got to be in this position, the stars got to be here. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that I love the most of our
You like the science, how they
yeah, I
scientifically
mean, I
put them
enjoy it, man.
together.
I mean, when you sit there and look at it, I like that part, and then I like the money part when they talk about how this person asking for this, and you look at it like, that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And then how it all play out. And then you can say, oh yeah, that's going to happen because I can see how it's all lining up. You know, that's the part I like. It gives me that, you know.
Hmm. 100%, 100%. We'll get right into that. But this super chat right here, Punch Jump Boxing, Teofimo versus Tank, the ultimate legacy fight. The
Yeah.
speed, the power, the IQ, the athleticism, God gifted twitch muscles. Super Bowl week in February 10th. Make it happen, coach.
That fight is going to happen one day because of the background that they both have with each other. We see them spar each other when they was amateurs and whatnot. Um, that's going to be a good fight. That's going to be fight. That's like I think when they get to a point when all the smoke clear with all these other guys. You know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
know, I'm hoping that Fame will hold that 140 spot, which he went up there to do. You know what I'm saying? Tank will hold his spot. And then these great moments that we are seeing in boxing is going to continue. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to remember them guys are older than the guys that's underneath them, you know.
100%, 100%. You could definitely wait it out a little bit longer. It'll be even more of a bigger fight than what Mayweather is saying it is today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Tio's always willing to go up and build his legacy. Now he's just at the point of his career building the money part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Let
You can
that
hear him say
balance.
it. You can hear him say it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a better time for them to figure it out how they doing that and just to keep doing what they doing because that fight is going to happen. That's that fight when all them guys that we talking about now and they didn't just all pass by. Man, they looking like okay, y'all the heads to be now. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
they holding it down, and them fights are happening, and they wins and losses, losses and wins, and they still can put them great fights together. So that fight is going to happen too. You know, that's why I sit there and say, and Kenny, he said it. Fight the guys that you're in your area. You know what I'm saying? And then you watch who comes from out that younger steps into that you know. And Floyd was the best to do it. He went through, I think, 3 you get what I'm saying? And
Yes.
survived. You know, I'm looking forward is can anybody chase that 50 and 0? And the only person that's close to it is Terrence.
Right.
Terrence,
Right.
the only one that's close to it.
Well, with a hell of a lot of KOs on top of it.
Right. So again, boxing is still moving to be great. You get what I'm saying?
100%. When we talk about like Teofimo Lopez, the big fights for Tank, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. When you talk about the opposition here, like what makes Teo different than them? I look at it as more of his punching with two hands versus the other two that are great boxers. You know what I'm saying? That have the speed, um,
They
technical
great
ability.
boxers, but again, we want to see that excitement. Joe running and they down. Ah. Or he slam dunking it. Ah. You don't get that.
They got to build their resume off of their performances to give the crowd what they need before going into a fight like this. I get what you're saying.
Like I just sit there and say, for some reason, our species love that. Whoa! Man, it's just our species just thrives for that.
Hmm. Shout out to Punch Jump Jocks, Boxing. Thanks, Coach. I appreciate the comment about he's also big teamed with. You met him in the Ryan Garcia and Tank fight press conference.
Mm.
And he's really cool with Teofimo Lopez as well. Um, but nevertheless, man, we got another fight coming up. It's in November. You got November or the first week or the second week is David Benavidez and Boo Boo Andres. Demetrius
Ooh,
Boo Boo Andres.
who jumped out there like that?
He jumped out. He's
Ooh.
from your boy Demar Nicholson straight to David
No,
Benavidez.
I got you. Don't get me wrong. That's how that fight was made. See, you don't know. I know a lot of them guys. Like when you talk about Teofimo, we cool. I'm cool with a lot of fighters.
Oh yeah.
I'm cool with a lot of fighters because I watched them in the amateurs. I've been around them in the amateurs. And they one thing they always said about me, man, coach always been the same since I met him since day one. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be straightforward with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? And I understand this is the fight business. You know what I'm saying? Listen to what I said. Fight business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And and at the same thing, we are all in a fraternity together. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna beat no fighter up. I'm not gonna mash him because I understand what he's going through. I understand what the coaches are going through. And what the coaches go through, man, to get that individual in the right state of mind, man. That day when I was sitting on that panel, man, just to be sitting on that panel and being who I am, I thank my Lord, you know, because them guys put that work in. They paid the wage, you know what I'm saying? When I look at Bob Santos, I was like, damn, Bob always be on the B side, man, but he come to Rumble. He been there a lot of times. You get what I'm saying? And he know all them guys and watch all them guys. So his knowledge of boxing through the roof. So I just try to be thankful, man, that a guy like myself that came from where I came from, you know what I'm saying, to be around all different walks of life with the boxing part and the coaching part. You know what I'm saying? I just try to be thankful, man. You know, and I just the thing, like I said again, the thing that really get me, man, that the heads to be, man, how they think.
Hmm.
And they like I was watching this movie, how they built the atomic bomb, man. And they had all the scientists sitting around the minds to be, man. Yo, to be in that room like that, man, that's like I'm like at a candy store.
Hmm.
I'm like at a candy store just to be in a room
Well, you
with the
deserve it.
ones,
You
with
deserve to be there. You
you
know.
know. So that's my motivation.
Got Bob Santos saying that tanks on his high
Yeah,
ratings.
he
You
speaks
know,
about that. That's all he talks about, man. And thanks, Bob. You know, he keep it real. He said, man, that youngin is different, man. You know.
100%. So gearing up to this fight with Benavidez and Bubu Andres. Some people believe that Bubu Andres is the most avoided fighter in in this era right now. What do you think? Do you think that this fight right here kind of seals the deal? Are you this most avoided guy, or was
Boo
this
Boo
all hype?
understand. Boo Boo understand. If he beat Benavidez, he got everybody attention.
Of course.
But that's the challenge of being great. I just said that. I gave you a quote from me and Paul Williams talked about when he fought um Margarita. Remember Margarita was fair back in the days. You know what I'm saying? For Boo Boo making that move, man, he trying to say, like, yo, this is my move right here. And for us to get this fight, you know what I'm saying? Andre saying, man, I'm taking a chance. Bump what you heard. I already know who he is. So he putting everything on the line, man. You see what I'm saying about boxing? Yo, we getting it.
I don't want to hear not one channel or anybody say that boxing's failing us because it's some bullshit.
Yeah, man, we getting it. That's gonna be a good fight, man. That's gonna be a good fight because Canelo wouldn't fight him.
Either of them.
The Charlos wouldn't fight him. For him to take that fight with Benavidez, and I was just saying, like, because Demond just lost, and I was just sitting there saying, dang, I wonder what's up with Boo Boo because he been quiet.
Right.
That news you just gave me, God dang, that's jumping out the window. You know how when the stocks was falling, plummeting? Boo Boo said, man, I'm jumping out the window and I'm going to jump.
Mm-hmm.
God dang, man. I salute him on this one.
Do you do you, like the business? Like sometimes when you're not. Sometimes boxing they like to choose you. They like to say, "Hey, well, you want to take this fight 2 weeks notice?" You the type of guys like, no, we call the shots here. Like this
Yeah,
is we ain't
yeah.
doing that. We ain't doing that. Now, it seems to me that Bubu Andres had a lot of those opportunities. When the two we can call them opportunities or we can call them how it is. It's not necessarily an opportunity if I'm not 100% or
Right.
can't get to 100%. Um, you know, do you believe that this is gonna be the fight, just making the fight, or this is gonna be the fight that everyone's gonna say, "Oh yeah, he was avoided because look who he's fighting," or we
No,
have to
no,
see it.
no, no, no. When you really look at it, it's people avoiding Benavidez.
Absolutely.
Listen to what I just said. It's people avoiding Benavidez. Boo Boo, he understands his situation. See, I know what's really going on. And he's saying, okay, y'all don't want me to fight these dudes. I'll fight him. And if he pull it off, now he's going to be the most fair dude.
Fighting guys like Canelo did it.
You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But like I said, after this fight with Canelo, yo, we ready to see some serious fighting, man. It's about
Crazy.
to come out. I said it before. I said Tank fight was the fight that made everybody start fighting.
Yo, facts.
I'm just telling you because the only way you're going to get them type of bills, you got to fight nothing but the best.
Your opposition got to be just as good.
Just as good to make people go. You remember how Arsenio used to say, "Hmm." That's the type of fights. That's how the fights got to be.
Right. 100%. Um, you know, coming into this to this fight after the, all said and done, do you think this gets Canelo's attention? The winner?
Of course, but Canelo worrying about his fight that he got in front of.
Facts.
Right. I mean, right now he can't be thinking about Benavidez or what's his name. Get what I'm saying? He got to do what he got to do in the fight that he got coming up. Then when after that fight is over, everybody gonna be sitting in front of the TV to see how that fight unfolds because that fight is another big fight because you got the one of the most fair guys in this era in that weight class. It's Benavidez.
Mm.
That's real. In that weight class, you know, a lot of them like, yo, you 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 mentioned the word Benavidez. Joker's like, nigga, you got to pay me to fight him. And I'm talking about opponents.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Once they see,
You
uh,
know,
it's like Tank. You see all those KOs, you're like, nah, 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 nah,
no, you
nah.
got to pay me. But in the situation with Videz, his numbers not like Tank. But you're gonna get some goddamn. You're gonna get brutally beat up. You know what I'm saying? So you sitting in the hospital or sitting home, you know, trying to get your wounds back. You want to make sure you good. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That, yo, that fight, and thanks for that one, boy. That shocked. They talk, like you said, they
That
better not
was
say
not for the
nothing.
casuals. That was not for the
Yeah, they
casuals.
better not say nothing about boxing, man. That's real talk. That's real talk.
That's real, bro.
Yeah, that's real talk, man. Yeah, if Boo Boo pull that off, man, then he becomes the most fair dude. Because Benavidez is the fair dude. That's real talk.
And we were never thinking about a Boo Boo Andres versus a Terrence Crawford. Like we weren't even thinking those
Yeah.
at all. You know, crazy fights. So going into my interview with Keith Thurman, all right, I asked Keith Thurman, "What about Boots?"
Yeah.
And he, before he was saying, I'm not going to be a gatekeeper for these young bulls. I remember you talking to me about, the new coming in and the old coming out. Um, but in the same token, Keith Thurman had a fight with Mario Barrios. His stock went really down, coach, because the numbers weren't there. They didn't sell good. It wasn't like a Manny
And
Pacquiao.
Thurman didn't care. Thurman didn't care because he still is a name to be. Remember, I always make this statement. There's only a few names of mention in boxing. Thurman name is what? Mentioned in boxing.
Yeah,
So with him taking that fight, and then it was the performance really that made the stocks drop because Barrios got stopped by Tank. Thurman couldn't stop Barrios because that was supposed to be Barrios' career stoppage done at 147 fighting Thurman, but he survived and made it to another day. That's why he got the fight with Ugas. You see how it works?
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Now Thurman is sitting in between. I gotta wait on this fight and I gotta wait on this fight. I ain't messing with Boots because I'm not gonna get what I want if I happen to get shut out. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But right now, I ain't gonna mess with Boots right now because I know that type of fight. You get what I'm saying? And how it's gonna be. So I gotta make sure I can wait on either Spence or Terrence Crawford. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? Because them two fights will really pay him real good. And he understand. See, I don't understand. Thurman is a company man. When he first came on the scene, he was fighting everybody. They told him to fight. And that's what made Thurman who he is. You understand what I'm saying? But then once he got married, had his child, he understood, like, wait a minute, this scenario changed. This is a different scenario now. You know what I'm saying? I got to look at my future of my family now. And that's why I don't knock with Thurman, dude. He's smart at what he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So he's making it right now. He's doing the business part. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Of the boxing. So when it's all said and done, you know what I'm saying? He's good. You with me? He's
Yeah.
good. He's good,
Absolutely.
and he's capable enough to actually get in the seats of doing commentator. You know what I'm saying? He's
Totally.
good. You know, I watch this how he talk, things that he do. So his lifespan is good in the boxing world. You feel what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But he's trying to make sure he seals the deal on the cash flow on what fights that he go into. You know, and he's like that's just like before Sean Porter left. His name was one of those that was mentioned. You know what I'm saying? So certain guys needed him. So he got to a point. I'm doing good, doing what I'm doing as a commentator. It's good. I'm good. You feel what I'm saying? So
100%.
again, I salute them guys because they teaching the young fighters, what you have to do to actually sell. Because you didn't see too much of that. Fighters be able to convert to actually be something else. And then when I sit there and look, I said boxing, if you got the right people running it, we can get to that level like the NBA, the NFL. But everybody got to put the right people in different places, you know what I'm saying, to actually bring all these things together. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody can benefit from it, because right there, and you can see boxing is changing. So, it has opportunities for the success and the sponsorship like the NFL and the NBA. Look at women's boxing, how it's thriving there. You know what I'm saying? Look at soccer. You know what I'm saying? How it's thriving there. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't get on board of changing some of these things up, you get what I'm saying? To bring in that type of equity that the NFL and the NBA get. And I get it sometimes because it's hard to run certain sponsorships, you know what I'm saying, through boxing because of the time frame. But it can be done if you sit down and really figure it out. That's what I said. They said you got to put them scientists in that room and figure it out.
Let them chop
Yeah,
it up on a chalkboard.
the brains, the minds, they can do it. They just got to sit down and say, yo, where were you trying to take it to? I look at good guy. Always read something in his book. Dana White. You get what I'm saying? Dana White took a system and put it in place and didn't look at it, and it's thriving. You know what I'm saying? When I sit back and I was laughing with Chuck, and then when we talk about wrestling, WBF, when we talk about that sport, and then you see how they sells out. You know what I'm saying? And it's great entertainment, and people love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, people love them. So when you sit there and look at entertainment and the fight game, you know what I'm saying? When I look at Showtime doing like crazy numbers. You know what I'm saying? They bringing the best. They keeping us alive. They keeping us alive and whatnot. So again, just can't wait. Just can't wait, man. But that news you just gave me on that last one, man, that was a good one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Boo boo. I salute you again, baby. Hey, shucks. And I know what Benavidez gonna bring. You
Yeah.
pull this one off, boy. You the most fair dude.
Yeah. Absolutely. Without a doubt, it. Like without a
Without
doubt.
a doubt.
Probably definitely gonna see a rematch if that happens too.
With Boo Boo and Benavidez?
If Boo Boo takes the win, yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
if Boo Boo takes the win, most likely you're going to get a rematch with that. You know what I'm saying? You got to. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You have to. You have to. And based on how the fight ends.
Of course.
It's based on how the fight ends because then if the fan don't want to see it, You understand what I'm saying? If the fans don't want to see it, but if they put on a great performance and that was a roller coaster ride, and Boo Boo bring out some things that, oh, dad, we was seeing that. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, they said, all these fights, yo, man, I wish I was sitting in the room with the heads to be, because all these fights, when you really look at it, man, boxing going to be all right for 2024. I said it first.
Oh yeah,
I
oh
said
yeah.
it first.
Because this year delivered the hype. It started the hype.
Yeah.
You can't just stop it next year. It wouldn't do good.
No, it wouldn't, because
That's like
it'll
cold
kill
turkey and
us.
drugs.
It'll kill us. It'll kill us.
Yeah, yeah. You can't go cold turkey.
No, it'll kill us, man. But if they keep doing what they're doing, but I think, like I said again, that fight with Devin, I mean with Garcia and Tank, they seen the threshold. They seen the threshold, and they said, yo, that's the key right there. But then it takes them guys to come together. So they say, yo, that's how we gonna make it work. You know what I'm saying? And Floyd said it most. The fighters should get the lion's share if they can put them asses in the seat.
mm, mm. Speaking of, Ryan, how do you think he fares well with Derrick James now in the 140 division?
I don't know. That's a guess. That's one of them situations is we gotta wait to see. If they put him in front of um
Rolly?
yeah, they put him in front of Rody. They're gonna put him back on top, and then it's what happens after that fight. You understand what I'm saying? You know,
Hmm.
go after Bamo. Do they go? Do they go at Devin with Rody? I mean, with Ryan, because Ryan is going to be the guy that's going to walk away because of who he is, his likes, who he is. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. It makes sense.
We got Punch Drunk Boxing. Coach, thank you for the super chat, Punch. Coach, you do a wonderful job coaching your young souls into young warriors. Today, many fighters are suffering from mental illness.
Mm.
What are the challenges of coaching fighters that suffer the outside of the ring?
Again, you got to have a relationship with him. Like, if you ever come around me and see how I interact with my little youngins in the gym, I'm not teaching them boxing. I'm teaching them life skills, and I learned that from Mike Tyson and his coach. You know what I'm saying? We talked about the boxing side so much. You know what I'm saying? What about the lifestyle? The life. And if Koch was still living some of the things that Mike went through in his life, you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't have probably happened because Koch was there to work on these things. But then when I sit back and look at it, God don't make no mistakes. And Mike is where he's at today. He's an icon. You know what I'm saying? And he gives young men that's going through the same situations that Mike went through hope. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when I look at Tank and I look at Mike, life is almost similar, the same. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Um, I look at Floyd sometimes, glimpse of his life when he was young coming up, the same. You know what I'm saying? We are only reflections of each other. So our job is to reflect off each other, man, and learn from each other, high points and they low points. You know what I'm saying? To actually weather the storm.
Yeah, that's a good answer, Coach. That was deep. Um, you know, when we talk about Shakur and Devin and those matchups with Tank, in your eyes, which one do you believe is the bigger fight?
I can't say none of them are bigger fights because they not moving the crowd like that.
Mm,
I can't say none of them are big. They're a good fight for boxing enthusiasts like us. You know what I'm saying? They want to see the styles make fights, that word that they keep putting out there. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
But one thing about my youngin, we Baltimore. That's what they don't understand. And I can't give y'all the core of Tank. I can't give y'all that. It's the core of Tank that y'all don't understand that where he come from that makes him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And when he lock in, I give y'all little hints, but y'all still not reading into it. You know what I'm saying? And when he locks in, he locks in. Some of them guys think they on the basketball court or on the football field playing boxing. You get what I'm saying? in this type of game that we are in, it's a different type of sport when you step in that box when it comes to fighters. When it comes to fighters, you get what I'm saying? Because they are born with that fight inside of them. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And that's their way of translating. And I told you for some reason our speech he had that war in us. You get it?
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's how he communicates with these people that have that war in them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You got guys from MMA on a fight tape. Crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh.
again, that's his way of sending that energy out. You know, I read a scripture that it said fighting is good for us. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I see people that have certain disease go punch the punching bag and get up to that level, they feel good. You know what I'm saying? You know, um, when they talk about boxing training, it's different. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's different from most other type of training. Um, I ain't gonna lie. When I was getting ready for rolling, I mean, when I was getting ready for bullet, I seen a transformation went over my body and my mental and everything, getting ready for the fight. And I put myself through the same stuff that I put my fighter through. And I asked myself, yo, why is you doing this? You don't have to do this. You know what I'm saying? But it made me learn. It made me respect the guys that really put that work in. You get what I'm saying? And then when I didn't get to fight, man, I felt like somebody died.
Mhm.
It felt like, you got a friend that died and you have the moments where you try to get over it and you still feel it. Man, it hurt because all the hard work you put in just to show that one ring walk, your uniform, you walking down there in the crowd going crazy. Man, I wanted that feeling.
Mhm. How does it feel to be at where you're at right now, Coach? You know.
Well, after that loss with Trump, it made me focus on what I would be doing. I mean, should be doing, how I should be doing it. But I learned from the training aspect that it get me mentally ready to take that next generation to where I need to take them to. You know, so it was a learning experience for me, and it helped me to grow. It's making me grow. It's making me more hungry. Sometimes you can lose that fire or why you doing it, but now I understand why I'm doing it, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the light, the hope.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my light is still shining bright to give that light to that other light that's there to make it even shine even more. And I got so many lights shining, it's going to make a bigger light. So that's what the goal is.
Yeah. I feel like your community counts on you. You know, for that light.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I mean, looking at right now, Tank's headspace, looking at all the other fighters' headspace. When you talk about building your fighter, building your man, because you do much more than just teach boxing, you teach life. How is it? Like, how is it now for you and Tank and where you guys are right now, watching the whole boxing community, and y'all just walking your own path?
We ain't finished. It just started.
Yeah.
It just started. I get like I get chills about it. I try not to be how to say it, this phrase that they use, Hollywood. I try to keep myself humble. I try to keep myself as a regular person that, people say, man, I was just watching you on TV. you know,
Yeah.
what you doing? I'm working. That's all I'm doing, working. You know what I'm saying? I leave that up to the athletes. If you listen to our boxing is changing, and I'm part of that history that is going to make the change.
Facts.
That's how I'm looking at it. I'm that. You know how when you sit there and say we're great going to that new generation,
Hmm.
that's what's happening. And I'm part of it. And I give thanks to my Lord that I'm in this position, and I'm waiting to see where else He take me at.
100%. We got Richardson Hitchens fighting Jose Cepeda this week.
Tough fight for him. Okay, he's stepping up.
He's stepping up.
He's stepping up. It's time for him to do it. Great boxer. You know what I'm saying? Um, Again, like I said, they got to understand the business. Boxing don't get younger. I mean, older. It gets younger. You got to start making the moves before you start getting older.
Right.
So again, Hitchens gonna do well. Great boxer, sound. He's a avid of the sports. You know what I'm saying? He's a student. You know, he's gonna do all right. You know, and I think when he get more tougher fight, you're gonna see. Um, I don't think he's gonna change any more than where he at because it's just the era of the kids that's coming out now. That's fighting. You know what I'm saying? Unless we just get one kid, he just different. And I'm trying to find that one kid.
Mm. How do you think Richardson does at the 140 division where all these title holders such as
He can beat,
Tito?
he can beat a lot of them because again, he's a student of the sport. He know how to actually make it appear that he's dominating them with the boxing ability.
Mm.
Make sense?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm giving to you?
Yeah,
Because if you look at some of the guys that's out there, his skill level is way different from theirs.
so you believe that there's a higher IQ at the 135 division versus the 140 division.
Is a higher IQ versus the 140. No, it's sprinkled everywhere in different levels.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You got IQ in 135 and you got IQ at 140. His tail can punch and box.
Mm-hmm.
Shakur, he can box, tank and punch and box. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's sprinkled on both sides. You know what I'm saying? It's again who preparation is the best come that night in front of that guy.
Right. Right. Um, when it comes to like nowadays, obviously you got to treat what you do in the gym differently, especially now that you're at this level. Um, are there any like there's no cameras allowed when you guys are sparring, correct?
No, I don't lie, but sometimes Kenny will go, okay, this going on Facebook, or Instagram. Kenny will start some stuff. So we try to make it fun, but I try to keep the cameras and stuff off the guys, get what I'm saying? And give glimpse of what I want to give to make them come and see the fight. You know what I'm saying? But like our sponsorship people or something. Well, you know how we have our own camera people there. I let them get certain things that I want them to show after the fight so they can say, this is no, we didn't make this shit up. We didn't make this up. Everything Floyd said it, man. That's why I like listening to him. He said, well, every punch that he throw, he worked on it in the fight. So that lesson is we work on it. We're gonna show you in the fight. And then after we do it, I'll show it to you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I show it to you, and you see it. They were like, "Damn, they was working on that." And I had people that was in camp with us. They said, "Yo, man, that joker, it's a madness to his science." Get what I'm saying? But when it come together, you can't stop it. Tank used to avoid it. He said, "Man, I just look at that shit. It's crazy." Yeah, he said, "But you need that." I said, "They said, yo, let me tell you something. Somebody come in there and hit you in your mouth. You weighing 240 pounds. What you gonna do?" He said, "I'm gonna fight. What's the difference?"
Mm. Facts. 100%. You better have something to come back with it. 100.
So
When
again,
we
again, boxing is changing, man. Yeah, I think I got off of Thurman and Boots. Thurman doing what he's supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting and waiting. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, it's not like he wanted to avoid Boots. It's just Boots is that next era. You know what I'm saying? It's just right now. Boots
I'll
is
tell
that.
you. I'll tell you what he told me, Coach. When he was moving up, trying to get the Mayweather fight, he was remember the Ghost Guerrero.
Yeah, I remember the Ghost.
He fought him, which is a similar opponent to uh to Mayweather, which gave him the measuring stick of a common opponent.
hmm
Boots and Thurman don't have the common denominator opponent that they both fought. So that's kind of the reason why Thurman said he believes he needs to do more. He believes the guys he beat were kind of tailor made for him, and then he also believes that if he needs to, if the contract comes onto his table and it's worth it, meaning the number is nice,
Well,
I'm
that's the
fighting.
real truth. That's the real truth. It's not the opponents, and he's right. He got to do more, but Thurman is the more.
Thurman
But
is.
I just said that on the business side. Thurman is waiting to see where his chips gonna fall at. So if the chips fall, if Boost they say, all right, I need Thurman. Man, give him the lion's share of the money. I'm fighting because I need him. I bet Thurman take the fight.
Mm.
If Boost said they say, yo, how much I'm getting paid? How much Thurman getting paid? All right, give him this. And let's make the fight. I guarantee he'll take the fight.
And that's what you believe that Boots needs to do is kind of be outspoken when it
He
comes to
had
these
to.
negotiations.
He
Yeah.
had to because it's a phrase that they use. More risk, less reward.
High risk, low reward. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. You get what I'm saying? So why would you take a high risk and the money ain't right?
Trying to come up.
Especially in Thurman's position. He's a named person.
Hmm.
So if I need that named person, I'm gonna pay for it.
Yeah, I think he's the only. Him and Ugas are like the only
They're
former
the only two
welterweight
left
champion.
that them guys.
Yeah.
Because you got to look at it. What's the name from out of Philadelphia went up to 54. So that took him out the equation. You understand?
Hmm.
So
Danny.
Danny, if Danny was still there, that's a mega fight.
Sheesh.
Am I right or wrong?
Of course, and it's kind of like passing the Philly torch, but they ain't trying to
Hey,
do that, Coach.
hey, I hope the minds will be listening to this interview. Put me in that circle, so I can learn. I just want to get my pad out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
No, but
exactly.
you understand what I'm saying, though.
Hmm.
You know, if you want to make these fights, man, again, I'm giving y'all a bone. You have to sit there and take sacrifices
Mm.
to lure them in.
You know, some of these big fights, it seems like it took some of the fighters to make phone calls to make these fights happen.
Well, that's why I sit there and said what I said. The tank fight made them start fighting because they start seeing the they start saying them dollar signs. That's what GTD mean. Get
Hmm.
them dollars.
'Cause Ryan called Tank, and y'all made it happen.
Like I just sit there and said. That's what's good. It's boxing is changing because at the end of the day, Spence and Earl did it. They called each other, talked to each other,
Correct.
and they forced everybody's hand. Like, yo, we got to make the fight.
Hmm. Hmm. 100%. So you believe that, like, say, if you was in Boots' team, that's what needs to be done right now
That's
at this
what has
point.
to be done if you really want to get that to that. You want to get old
Stop
head
calling
coach.
Crawford. Stop calling Crawford.
No,
And
I mean, because you're not going to get that no time soon. You got to do again. Everybody's saying you got to do something. So old head said you have to invest into your career. How you going to invest in your career? It's by spending that money. You know what I'm saying? So now I know it's only two guys there. So do I want to play the waiting game to one of them get into position and then somebody make me the mandatory to put me in position to actually fight them? They can get around that shit. You know what I'm saying? So okay, this time I'm gonna do it. If you wait for the money right, I'm gonna make the money right. So if
right.
I make the money right, that fight gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. 100%. 100.
Especially when you already know that you can beat them.
That's the big one right there.
Right.
You got to believe in yourself.
Believe. That was one of the slogans that Mary O'Malley. That's how I got into the boxing. That he say believe.
Mm. Speaking upon believing, do you think that's the reason why Terrence, he really believes he could beat Canelo? And this is not just talking. This is something that
No,
he
no,
really.
no, 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 no. That's the most. That word is the most dangerous fight word for a fighter. That's just like faith,
Mm,
belief.
exactly, it is.
Belief is only in the beholder.
Mm.
So again, I remember what's his name? He wanted to fight Floyd so bad, man. From over England somewhere. Got knocked out by Canelo real
Con.
bad. Khan, man, you good. That was his biggest fight, just to have a fight with Floyd. He didn't beat nobody else or no fight nobody else. He wants to fight Floyd. Fight never happened.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? His career went wherever way it went.
100%. Yeah. It can get like that.
Yeah, that's why I always sit there and say, gotta really watch the one that really wants somebody.
Stylistically, though, is that a real hard challenge for Terrence?
With Canelo?
Three three divisions going up, coach.
No, man, shucks. We see Pacquiao did it. Pacquiao did it with a fighter. He did it with a fighter. He stayed at a lower weight class. I can't give y'all secrets, man. I got so many people watching, man.
Yeah, we got 150 here right now.
No, I'm done for the night. I'm about to get off here. You always gave out. I always gave him something. But it can be done. It can really be done. I think Terrence can actually get in the ring and fight him and be successful with
Mm.
it. I really think that. But Canelo got to get through this fight he got coming up.
What do you see? What do you see that Terrence can get all this success? What do you see in Canelo that's like?
Terrence gonna watch his very fight, and he's measuring. That's why I keep saying boxing is about. Man, I'm gonna explain something. Terrence, Canelo, Boo Boo are writing history right
Ooh, they're writing it right
now.
now.
They writing history right now. And if any one of them had upsets in them fights, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna make a move and who's gonna fight who next.
Wow, wow, it's true. Because we'll be talking about matchups we never even thought of.
Oh my god, yo. Boom.
We wouldn't have that slipped our mind. Like we're talking about popularity here, popularity there. We forgetting about the skills.
Yo, everybody like, yo, and then boxing is going to be doing what they was doing back in the days.
Mm. Speaking of that, coach, back in the days we only had telephones with the wire on them. The box TVs, the newspaper to get the word out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you might hit the Ring magazine from time to time. Boxing was not really hit on that, right? But talk about it. Those big fights back in the day, Ali Frazier, Ali Foreman, those fights would those fights be how big would they be in today's era? And vice
They'll be
versa. How
major.
would these fights
They'll
be?
be major. They'll be major because the access, the phone, you sit down and watch it. The zone had an idea that they made it work, but they just didn't have. They wasn't in the right position. They just wasn't in the right position. But I'm gonna keep that so when I get it on that level, I can use that to my advantage.
Yeah, and then I hear boxing's gonna be moving pretty soon. Platforms.
I,
I'm hearing.
you ain't hearing it's actually happening, man.
Yeah, yeah.
These phones are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Man, sucks. Half the time you somewhere, you on your phone. And that's what's going to get that 1% of boxing better and bigger than what it is. These phones.
What about vice versa? What about if some of these fights that we have been talking about today, today's great fights, are they just as big back in the day when we take away these resources that we have today?
No, they still is because our nature, man. We want to see that war. But the thing is, it's so different is we can get it out quicker and more to the masses. And I can reach this country. You can reach that. And say, why you think China don't let them do all that stuff with these phones in their country? They know. They know. Nah,
You know about Edwin De Los Santos, coach, the lightweight?
No. Oh, the one that died?
Nah, nah, nah. He's a southpaw that he beat Rayo Venezuela from the Benavidez camp, and then he recently just beat Joseph Adorno.
No, I don't know about this kid. You just put me on somebody else.
Yeah, he's southpaw from New Jersey, Dominican bull. Southpaw, he got big punches in both hands, and
Mm.
he's been really calling out Shakur, and it looks like that might be the fight for Shakur next, possibly. But I'm like
Puerto
you,
Rican? Puerto Rican?
Dominican.
Dominican? Oh, that's something different.
Yeah, something different.
Yeah, that's something different.
Yeah,
We have to wait and see.
yeah, yeah,
But then
absolutely.
I got to go look at his resume and see who he was fighting first.
Right, right. I mean, he's beaten a couple of these upcoming prospects, but nobody major.
They ain't nobody. You get what I'm saying? I gotta
Exactly.
go see who he go. I just gave you another drill. I gotta go see who did he beat up before I compare him. Again,
Then you
Core got
see,
too much.
then you said,
Core, he
go
got
ahead.
too much experience on how to trick a person and
Mm,
beat him oppressively to make the judges still give him the nod. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And like I said, Shakur been studying his defense. He don't want to get hit.
no.
He don't want to get hit. So that's the main thing on his mind. You know, that's these of fighters today.
Do you think that when that time comes is when you get to really become the Shakur Stevenson fan that people really want to see? Is after you get hit with a big blow? Because I'm one of those type of guys too that I got to see my favorite fighter get hit really clean, so you could be a believer at all times that you got that dog.
That's what we're waiting to see because that's what he's living off of right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. T. Bosley, thank you for the super chat. What's up, Calvin? It's
What's that?
Crawford.
What's
Crawford,
happening?
is Crawford's skills too much for EJ, or did he look weight drained to you? Question mark. And will he see Gervonta Davis before the end of the year? Or will
No,
we?
that fight ain't happening before the end of the year. But like I said, something was wrong with Spence because when I was where I was sitting at, Spence didn't look like himself. And then go back and look at all his other fights. His performance didn't even look like itself. So something totally had to be going on at that particular time and whatnot. You with me? He just didn't look like Spence. He looked like somebody was. It was like somebody was. What they use for the president? Somebody else that looked like the president, but it ain't the president.
The look-alike?
Yeah, it had a look-alike in there that night, but that definitely wasn't Spence.
Oh, yeah, a replica.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't Spence that night, man. I don't know who that was, man. I ain't seen nothing. The jab didn't even look crisp. He just looked like he was all over the place. Like he looked like an amateur that just started out. No, matter of fact, he looked just like me fighting against a young kid.
Mm.
You know how you see an old man in there working? Old man got skills, but he just can't keep up with that guy there young. He just too quick.
Yeah, the timing is not there.
Wasn't there. Nothing was there, man. Nothing was there. And when I said it, Kenny was sitting there. Kenny said, yo, you're right, man. He don't look like himself today. It ain't look like he was like just to fight. When Crawford came out, you could see his you could see the neck. how he came out, his music selection, how it was there. The confidence was there.
Mm. So, coach, tell me, what's your favorite thing about boxing now that you're at this level? What's your favorite piece when it comes to peace in this game?
Far as peace, finding a good friend that's in boxing. A friend, an old head told me, they said, Calvin, you find a good friend in boxing, you better hold on to him.
Hmm.
Just gave y'all something else. That's it for me today, y'all.
Nah, I understand, coach. Man, I know. I appreciate your time as well. Thank you, and we'll definitely recap real soon.
Yeah, real soon, man. Good interview. I always like doing interviews with you, man.
Man, I appreciate you. You're one of a kind too, bro. Sometimes
I appreciate that.
when you flowing, you flowing. As a duo, it ain't just me.
Yeah, but the interviewer have to bring that out of person. When you got a good, that's like my guys out of Philly, um, thousand worth of game.
Yeah, $1 million worth of game.
Man, I love talking to them because it's like we kicking it. You get what I'm saying? I like being on platforms where you're comfortable and they dig deep when you don't know they digging deep.
They don't smooth their way into it. They go right in.
Yeah, when it makes you go like sometimes you make me think, it makes you think about things that you're thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I have to catch myself like, can't let them know that. Like, dang, ain't no Calvin was on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the heads to be watching sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, he tuned in. So like I said, man, you always do a good interview. I want to thank you again, giving this opportunity.
No, man.
Appreciate it.
Anytime, guys. Make sure you guys smash the like button. We got the one and only Coach Calvin Ford. Definitely gonna be trainer of the year real soon. Like,
Man, we ain't worried about
I
that.
know
I
you
tell
don't
you
care
what,
about it. I know you don't care about it, but you giving a lot of life lessons
my
inside
thing
the
is,
ring,
man, if
outside
I
the
could
ring.
make a fighter or a kid face or individual face light up, man, I did my job.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. That's the calling. Bring a smile to somebody's face, man, and everything else is great.
And you could tell you guys do that. Shout out to the Rise podcast as well, because it's just like I see it in the comments. I can see who is from the Upton gym. You know what I'm saying? I can see it, and I love it. I love it. I'm like, wow, they're bringing that whole community together in
That's
one
that's what, that's
podcast.
what that's what it's about, man. We're trying to, like I said, boxing is changing. If I'm dead and gone, you gonna sit there and say, man, Cal said that, man. It's not gonna be the same, man. I'm watching the sport keep doing this because the kids are different. The technology is different. You get what I'm saying? And if we don't change with the time, guess what? We'll come dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So what you doing, reaching out, and yo, you've been doing a lot of great interviews. You've been showing up, reaching out, grabbing them. You know what I'm saying? So keep doing what you're doing. You're part of that change.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. I really do. Well, much love to you guys. If you want to shout out your social medias, where people can find you, Coach.
Man, you can find me at the gym, 1901 Pennsylvania Avenue, or social media, all social media platforms, Coach Calvin Ford, at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Last minute things you would like to tell the
Oh,
audience.
don't forget the Rise Podcast. The Rise Podcast is in the building.
Always in the building. Coach Squeeze and Senior in the building.
Yeah, man,
Always
they're in
Coach
the
K
building.
there all the time. Any last minute words you like to give the audience before leaving, Coach?
Just stay tuned, y'all. We got some good fights coming up, man. Stay glued to the TV, man. Support the fighters. That's all they got is y'all. Support them.
Buy the pay per view, man, and watch a good fight. That's all
Yeah.
you can really do. You know what I
Sit
mean?
down and enjoy yourself. That's your peace. Love y'all back, man. Have a good one.
Much blessings, Coach.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I already know. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Calvin Ford. Make sure you guys smash the like button if you enjoyed this interview. Smash the like button if you rock with the channel. Smash the like button if you like Calvin Ford and Gervonta Davis team. Smash the like button if you hate on us. smash the like button if you just want to watch and get some content because you're a content creator and you just trying to get some new stuff. And you don't really want to shout out Mill City Boxing, but smash the like button anyway. You know what I mean? Smash the like button like you would smash your girlfriend on Saturday night when the babysitters are out. You know what I mean? And she looking all good with that lingerie and shit. Smash the like button, man. Make love to the like button. Finger the like button. Do something to the like button. I wouldn't do. Much love to everybody on the live, man. This was a great interview with Coach Calvin Ford. He woke me up early in the morning. He said, "Yo, Mills, let's get to it." So we definitely got to it. Make sure you guys check out the whole interview. I'll be posting it up right now. Great content all the way around, breaking down fights, talking about Devin and Shakur, talking about the Pitbull Cruz, talking about, Terrence Crawford's rematch with Errol Spence, talking about, Terrence Crawford wanting to move up 3 weight divisions to fight Canelo Alvarez or Jamel Charlo, talking about Jerron Boots Ennis if he's ready for the top guys. And, he should fight Keith Thurman. I'm a big activist of that. I'm big on wanting to see the best fight the best, and just because some people believe certain people are washed, I don't believe everybody is washed. I think everybody boxing's about the timing. You know what I mean? And if you're not in the right timing, you don't get the right fights. And if you're not around the right people, or if you're not around the right platform that has a lot of people in your division, it'll be hard for you to get some of the great fights. Boxing has been great this year. Can't complain. So I definitely believe in and appreciate everybody that has tapped in. You know what I'm saying? We got over 100 people, over 100 people with 97 likes. Let's get this to 100 before I get out of here. You know what I'm saying? If I don't get 100 likes in 1 minute 30 seconds, I'm out of here, guys, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Smash the like button. Smash the like button. We had Coach Calvin Ford, Gervonta Tank Davis's coach, on chopping it up with us, and we dipped in from the 135 division all the way up to the 68 division, talking about the great fights. I believe I do pretty good interviews. Just been hearing it from the boxers, hearing it from the coaches. They let me know that I keep them relaxed, but I also get the juice. And when you're able to let people be relaxed and let them spill out the juice, you know what I'm saying? You never know what gonna come out. Shout out to everybody on the live. Smash the like button so we can get this up, get the viewers up. It helps with the visibility of the show. What's your thoughts on the Frank Martin situation, Mills? Tommy Graham, shout out to you. Branson, shout out to you. Mr. Lightning, shout out to you. P- Pound for pound boxing talk. Shout out to you. Antonio Lewis. Shout out to you. Rigo. Shout out to you. What I think about the pullout of the fight, I think it has to do with money. I do. Coach Calvin and I broke it down a little bit too much. Um, a little bit for y'all. Frank Martin's in PBC. He's a PBC fighter. You know what I'm saying? You got guys like Pitbull Cruz. If he fought Pitbull Cruz, he would probably get $1 million to fight Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull Cruz is popular. If he fought Gervonta Davis, he might get close to $2 million. So what would you do? Would you fight Pitbull Cruz? Probably beat Pitbull Cruz. He could probably beat Pitbull. So say you fight Pitbull first, you beat him after Tank beats him for the second time, helps you all gear up with a nice big Gervonta Tank Davis fight. They were probably offering him 800,000 towards $1 million for the um, Shakur Stevenson fight, which is not a pay-per-view fight at all, but it's good streaming. It's nice to be in the ESPN platform. So watching and listening to these negotiations go, talking to Frank, he told me that he was getting his money situation ready. They had the date, they had the venue, but the money, Bob basically put a number out there so it wouldn't go up to purse bid, but how much of that was going to Frank Martin. That's the thing. So I don't like calling fighters ducks for the simple fact that you don't know the whole story of it, you know, but you can call him a duck if you'd like because, he's this is the biggest fight of his life. If you beat Shakur, you're up top. To be honest with you, this was like a lose-lose situation for Shakur, but Shakur is that dude and willing to take that task. So I understood that. But in the same time, it's money, man. Like we are not these guys' bank accounts. Once these guys take 4 or 5 losses, the interest for these guys are not there anymore. So therefore, you're not going to be able to make you're not going to be able to make ends meet. You know what I'm saying? You lose against Shakur Stevenson and you only made $1 million. Your personally goes down. It might go up if you fight a bigger name, but most likely it's going to go down. So that's one of my thoughts on it. I know it's a business. I don't have no clue that it was. I don't want to fight him because he's going to beat me up or he's just really that good. Yeah, he's really that good. And I know that Frank believes he's really that good, but I also believe that Frank knows that this is, if I'm going to take this risk at this part of my life, being at the position that I'm in, working with PBC, one of the top guys in boxing, then yeah, I'm going to make sure I get paid, really paid to take a loss if I'm going to take a loss. You know what I'm saying? Plus, when you sign in the paperwork, you already know you're signing yourself up to be a B-side situation. That's not so. Am I going to be a B-side situation for another company to get a title? Which that was the main thing, is like the title, the WBC title. You're gonna get money fighting Shakur, your biggest payday, but you're gonna get the WBC title. So your next fight, if you win, you're gonna get paid crazy money. Um, but in the same time, you got PBC that they do a lot of things for popularity and they make a lot of money off of that. And sometimes it's destined to like build your popularity up and then build your accolades after. So they mess. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at my man Subin Matias, IBF champion, made $250,000 on just to get the IBF belt. His next fight, I guarantee you, he's not gonna get no $1 million. Probably get closer to 500,000, but maybe not that. They're probably just gonna double his purse. So I mean, that's just my thought on that situation. I don't think fighters duck each other, but I do believe that they make the best move for their careers. So that could also be called ducking. It depends on who you talking to. You know what I'm saying? Frank ain't no duck. 16% when Shakur just turned down 25. They bleed the same. Shakur might be popular, but in the different division. And I call Shakur versus Navarrete. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, nobody's really screaming for the Shakur Navarrete fight. And if they do scream for it and Navarrete does go up to 135, I do believe he brings a lot of Mexican fan base to the event and they could do big numbers. So I don't think that fight is not ready yet, but I think also Navarrete got some more things that he wants to do at 130. And I think, Oshaki Foster is probably one of them. So he probably take care of him and then, see what comes up next after that. You know what I mean? Everyone want to fight for the bread. Everybody want, I mean, this is prize fighting, my brother. Brent Branson, this is pride. This is prize fighting. Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Good call on Navarrete. Absolutely. I just, the Navarrete is definitely that dude. Edwin De Los Santos, that's another thing too. Now, Shakur, this is my opinion. When I talk to Shakur, this is going to be what I'm saying. Fight Edwin De Los Santos over Jermaine Ortiz? I don't know, bro. I think Jermaine, New York City, you're going to get everybody in New England out. You know what I'm saying? But then again, De Los Santos he was from Dominican Republic. He's been building a nice little fan base in New Jersey. Still a good fight. Um, I think Jermaine Ortiz and Shakur Stevenson. I'm an activist for that fight to happen too, and I want the biggest and best fights that could possibly happen. And if you know me, that's what I want. Like that's what I care about. I don't care if my favorite fighter is fighting the hardest task whatsoever, but I know that the business of boxing it takes you there. If you're there, you have the numbers, you could do it. That is lit too. Yeah, man, absolutely. Jeffrey Montero. That would be definitely a good fight. Shakur versus everybody. Shakur versus everybody. Tank versus everybody. Devin versus everybody. Everybody got to say that because that's your favorite fighter. My thing is that as long as you fighting somebody in the top 5 at this level, because we talking about you guys so much, at least top 7, I'm okay with. You know what I'm saying? This is high level, world class level boxing. So for it to happen, fighting anybody at that level, it's very important. Make sure you guys smash the like button, press the notification buttons. Whenever I go live, I'll be doing possibly a dope interview or breaking down some great, boxing content. So, make sure you guys press the notification button so you are notified every time I go live. I do a little bit on Instagram Live, more with Coach Kenny and Zaf from time to time, but more or less right now I'm going to be doing YouTube Live for the people. You guys were saying, complaining about the audio on Instagram, so I'm giving it to you guys right here. And Tank taking the throne. Yo, I love, like I said, my 2 favorite guys at lightweight right now are Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. Those 2 guys right there, you guys can't tell me who do I think is going to win because I got to see it at the end of the day. Appreciate it. KTM. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for tapping in here. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We'll be dropping a lot of content today. Make sure you guys check out this interview specifically. Was definitely a goodie. And definitely be in the lookout for some of my dope content that I'll be posting today. Probably drop a couple shorts in the same time. I appreciate all 100 of you guys that are on here. Make sure you, like I said before you leave, smash the like button. And appreciate the day that we living in today, man, because boxing is doing good, but then we also got our regular lives that we have to attend to. And hopefully those lives, outside of boxing is just as beautiful as what's going on right now, keep working. Love your content, Brandon. Appreciate you, Bradley. Appreciate you. Bradley Alba. I definitely appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys always smash the like button for all the content to keep this, channel going. I think we've been up for 7 months now, and all we're doing right now is just trying to just bring the viewership up a little bit more. Once you get the more viewership, I guarantee you we'll be able to get out a lot more boxing contents, a lot more boxers, a lot more coaches. We're doing really good right now, but in the same time, there's always room for growth. You know what I'm saying? We can't stop until we at the top, 5 situation when it comes to boxing content. And if we're not, maybe, just being in the top 10 will be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody and the growth that we have done, so far. But make sure you guys, keep supporting the channel. I'll be back on with a new guest. I was on a vacation up in Maine. It was beautiful. I went white water rafting. I don't know if you guys ever did that. You definitely try to do something like that. It's very intense. I guess it's a sport, I guess, but it was good. It was fun. So we're doing a little bit new things for the lady and stuff like that. Shout out to everybody that's into boxing today, man, and that's loving the channel and loving all the other channels as well. Needs you to take over boxing as as Dana White did with the UFC. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, man, Maine was nice. Maine was nice. Make sure you guys check out, anybody that's from Massachusetts or in the Massachusetts area that knows Mickey Ward. Check out my last interview with Mickey Ward. It was a good one as well. It was definitely a great interview. Shout out to Mickey as well. Shout out to the 100 people on the live as well. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate the super chats that were sent today. It was a blessing. It's always a blessing to see hard work that I give out and being appreciated to it. And then I also appreciate everyone that really comes into the channel and engages into the comment section. I think that's also just as good. But once again, guys, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, Mill City Boxing. Follow me on Twitter, Mill City Boxing. And also smash the like button. Follow me right here on YouTube, one of the hottest boxing channels, growing right now. So much love to you. We just did a beautiful interview with Gervonta Davis's coach, trainer. I like to say Coach Kenny is the boxing coach, and I would like to say that Calvin Ford is the boxing trainer of Gervonta Davis. Salute to Mill City. You changing the game. El Coto, I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate everyone that supports the channel. It's much love every time, all the time. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing next. I don't know if I'm going to be interviewing Boots or Bozy or whoever next, but we're definitely going to give you some of the hottest boxing interviews, boxing content that we could possibly give you. Last minute shout outs, guys. Last minute things that you guys want me to drop a gem before I leave, so I can get into the boxing gym. Nevertheless, much love to everybody. God bless, and on to the next.